Once again, how's everybody doing today? So, today we are going to talk about some things that you have right now that you can use to influence and create your life. You always want to create your life by design, not by default. Most of us are manifesting by default. Basically, what default means, take my shades off. Basically, what default means is we are manifesting based on our subconscious habits. Our subconscious actions and our subconscious habits are default programs that we're manifesting, right? So I want you to keep that in mind. So I want to talk about something I've mentioned before. I made a couple shorts on this stuff. This is called your point of power. Every single conscious human being that has the awareness of consciousness has a point of power. Your point of power determines the quality, the abundance, or the lack and scarcity of your life. I want you to get that. Let me repeat that. Your point of power determines basically what your life is going to become. Okay? So first of all, let's talk about what life is. What is reality? Because in order for you to use what I'm going to teach you today, teach you how to activate your point of power to manifest or create. In order for you to know this stuff, you have to know what life is and what reality is. So let's talk about what life really is and what reality is, guys. So reality, my friends, are not this material or this physical stuff that you see around you, my friends. In science, and we use quantum mechanics to really study how things come into existence, we've discovered and we've known this for decades, that life and everything in the material world is actually pretty much immaterial and is masked as illusions to our brain. So we are basically composed of matter. Matter is what we call particles. These particles are dense. Based on the density of these particles, they look to us as solid objects. Let me repeat that. Based on our perception, they look to us as solid objects. And the reason they look solid is speed, momentum. These particles, these particles move speed of light so fast that they look like they're solid. If we slow them down, we could see they're slow moving. Okay? So the speed of these particles, they appear as a house, a car. The slower these particles go down, you will see them as liquid, gas, etc. Does that make sense? All right. So we understand that component. So reality is immaterial. So now let's talk about your point of power. So since reality is immaterial, and we decode reality through our brain, right? The way we see reality is through our brain. Our brain processes information. And based on the information our brain process, we create perceptions of what we call real life world, real stuff. Got it? All right, good. So now your point of power has two components: attention and focus. If you can get those two things together, attention and focus, you are going to manifest whatever you want, even with blocks, even with limiting beliefs. Albeit though, these limiting beliefs, they will show up and sabotage you eventually if you don't change them, but you will still manifest. So here's how it goes. Let me use the illustration of a car, because it's very easy to understand this principle. Let's say you want to manifest a car or a house. Same principle. So my attention now is going to be on the car. So let's say, oh, I see this beautiful sports car. That gets my attention. Okay? That's my attention. So now where does my focus come in? I get the attention on the car. My focus now is staying on the car by repeating a process, by me thinking about the car, by me imagining driving the car, by me seeing the car in my life. That's called my focus. See, attention grabs it, focus keeps it, then it manifests. That's how it works. That's called your point of power. The interesting about your point of power is, though, you have been duped and you're being tricked. You're using your point of power for stuff you don't even want and you don't even realize it. Your news station, the media is making you use your point of power, because the point of power is really more powerful when they can access your subconscious mind, when they can get below your conscious mind and they can put subliminal messages, subliminal thoughts, they can put their limiting beliefs on you, and then you manifest for them, for you. See how that works? Question here, someone says, I thought my subconscious mind was blocked, but I finally get a dream of winning the lottery. That's good. Subconscious mind will talk to you and let you know when something is free or is blocked. If you dream of winning something or deserving something, your subconscious has accepted that it's no longer blocked. Can you please explain, why do we have to think it's done to manifest? Can't we think it'll come? That's a great question. All right, so here's how it works. And there's nothing to do with you guys, it's with you, my friend. It has to do with how nature of reality is created. It has to do how the universe is made up of. So you see, when the universe began, it didn't begin, but whatever stage of the universe we're in. First of all, the universe doesn't have a beginning or an end. So you guys got to know that. So you have no beginning or end. Don't even try to think about it. Your mind can't even do it. But let's go to the question again. Can you please explain, why do we have to think it's done to manifest? Can't we think it'll come? All right. So when everything began from one little point called a singularity. From that singularity became everything you see around you. Became your house, your car, everything around you, okay? The thing is, you all came from that single point. So even though you think you're separate from the house or the car, you're actually not. You're actually entangled with everything you want. So this is why you have to think it's already done, because you're connected to it. If you think it's not done or think it's going to come, you separate yourself from that, which creates resistance. So if you don't think you have the money, it's all around you. You're entangled with it. And that's how your mind operates in that frequency range, particularly your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind will operate based on assuming that you already have the very thing that you're desiring. It is our conscious mind that messes us up. It's our conscious mind that gives us the illusion that we are not connected, that we can't have it, that we're not worthy to get it. Our conscious mind looks at some of these things and say, well, this happened to you, so therefore you can't get it. Does that make sense? See how that works? How? Form, right. So that's very important to understand. Now let's go back to your point of power. So when you have your point of power activated, the point of power comes from two places. It comes from the heart and it comes from the mind or the brain. More dominantly, your power is within the heart. Your heart has a very large electromagnetic field. Your heart is magnetic. Did you know that? You are magnetic. Your heart is magnetic. So your heart is always attracting stuff towards you because it sends out electromagnetic energy. Mark, I think if we get excited when we see something, our subconscious mind will get the message. That's correct. So are you saying I already have everything? You already have everything, but here's the thing. It's in what's called a probability of existence. Everything you desire already exists, but it's exists in what we call probability of existence. Let me explain what that means. Probability of existence is superposition. In simple terms, all the possible outcomes, all the things you want exist in one state, and it's going around infinitely until you accept, here's the key now, until you accept that it is yours and you deserve it. You're going to collapse that superposition to become now not a probability of existence, but a definite state of existence. The definite state of existence follows you into the three-dimensional world, and you experience a definite state of existence as a physical, tangible object. That's what they don't tell you, people. That's why they have people running a rat race. That's why they have people reaching for things that that's already theirs. Because it's like, I always use this analogy, man, and it's so true. It's like a dog chasing its tail, man. The dog is part of the tail, and the dog thinks he's not his tail, so he chases the tail. He never catches his tail. Can't catch his tail because his tail's already his, man. Is that the only condition, you deserving it and accepting it? Yes, that's the only condition. But here's a catch to that, though. People have been taught how to deserve and accept stuff. Let me repeat that. People haven't been taught how to deserve and accept stuff. You don't even know what it means to deserve something. You don't even know what it means to accept it because it's so flawed. People don't even know what love is, or how to be love, how to show love, because again, it's all flawed. All of us have been damaged from birth. We've been damaged with toxic ways. Did you know some people show love by hurting people, by abusing people? They call that love. I always say this: hurt people, love people, love people. Why do you think people stay in toxic relationships? Why do you think people stay in domestic abuse relationships? They think it's love. They're used to that stuff, so they feel that's how their life is complete. So you see how they mess stuff up to you guys. So you think like, oh, I gotta deserve it and accept it. It's not as simple as you think, my friends. You literally have to retrain your mind to see how reality works. Did that sink in yet? Let me repeat it again because it's very important. You haven't been taught how to deserve, how to accept what you want correctly. Correctly. You have been taught flawed. Therefore, you're not